You're on the air, WFLA. Art joins the Subhuman Pig Club, a man who didn't hold on. Tex in Palm Harbor. Hi, Tex. You're on the air, WFLA.
Howdy, Bob. Your last caller excluded. I was hanging on the phone. The previous three before him almost made me hang up and join the Subhuman Pig Club. I did not want to follow those guys. What with the guy that was supposedly in the armed forces claiming how great Reagan was for the country.
You know, I put up with that man for far longer than I should have, hoping against hope that he could come up with something to back up his statements.
Well, me too. And Martha, who just absolutely enjoys your show to no end but never listens. Anyway, I want to move on to Reagan bashing. I love it. I voted for him. I'm a registered Republican, and I hang my head in shame every time I think about voting for that son of a gun.
Margaret in Tampa. Hi, Margaret. You're on the air.
This is Margaret, and I just would like to countries.
But it was the U.S. government that sold them to the Ayatollah.
Well, in this way, if he's getting the weapons from them, and they're making a profit.
Margaret, he got them from the U.S. government out of the Department of Defense stockpiles.
Eventually,
sold to him by agents of the U.S. government.
He got some from us, but he also got some from other people.
That's true, Margaret, but shouldn't the president have known? Shouldn't this is the man that stood there just a little over a year ago and said, well, you know, that Ayatollah's not such a bad guy after all. You know, he used to be in favor of terrorism, but he isn't anymore.
Well,
come on, Margaret. Even you know better than that.
Could I say something now about the way I feel about the Ayatollah and all of them in there? They have great investments over here. I know they do. I did go to school with a few of the people from those countries, and they have invested heavily in America. And therefore, they should be interested in whether or not we're overrun by people that come up here and get on our welfare systems and give us all kinds of difficulty. And when some of these little wars start off down there, what they're going to do is to get rid of everybody that they don't want because of the fact that the overpopulation is their main problem. And so I think that perhaps maybe, although we didn't have time to present these things to the Ayatollah and others in their proper fashion and get him to go along with helping us with them, we didn't have that time. It had to be done this other way, and it was done that other way.
Well, Margaret, I can well understand why you don't see any signs of confusion in the president.
How you doing, Bob?
Fine.
Real quick, before we get down to business here, the other day you had that chair salesman in your studio there.
Right.
And you were
as a matter of fact, his cart's still here. Brian Stoll.
Yeah, well, you were mentioning to him the benefits of, you mentioned his name and him being able to tell people that he knows you and using that in the bars and all that.
Yeah, it didn't seem to do any good, damn it.
Well, I got an idea in my head, and I was at the bar that night, and I happened to mention to one of the girls there that I knew Bob Lassiter, and she slapped me, Bob.
Oh, no. Well, you got to be careful, you know.
Just mentioning your name, she slapped me.
Well, you've got to be careful, you see, how you do that, because it can actually work in your benefit both ways. You have to determine, first of all, where she is politically. You know, if you run into an arch right-winger, then you say, that Lassiter, he's a jerk, you'll probably get her in the head. But if you run into an ultra-liberal, then tell her, you know, that you're a personal friend of mine. You have to use your head, Ace.
Yeah, for all I know, she could have been Decency Lady's daughter, you know. So.
Could have been Decency Lady herself. Radio in the background. Tom will be coming up very soon. Probably, you know, trimming his toenails or something, and he'll be hearing us talking about him. He'll be along momentarily. I have every confidence. Actually, I think I can hear movement in the room now as we speak. It's Tom in Clearwater, just in case he's now confused. There's no business like show business, like no business. I know I can hear more. I know that you guys can't hear this, but I got the headphones on. There is movement in the room. There really and truly is. Here he comes now. I can hear him breathing. Hi there, Tom. Now Tom's probably embarrassed.
Hello?
There you go, Tom. You got to listen to the phone and not the radio.
Well, Tom, it's, Bob, the connection is not so good. I don't know why. I'm here in Clearwater. Am I talking to you?
Yes, you are, Tom.
I don't hear you too well, either.
Well, such is life, Tom. Did you want to continue talking to me? Well, Tom, you see, you're sitting there listening to the radio, and that's just a no. I mean, my God, I gave you 2 minutes to get your act together.
You know, I'm getting real tired of every time I turn on the news for Nancy to wave at me.
Okay, Mary. Thanks so much for your input into the program this afternoon. I knew that was going to be a choice one. A line open in Pinellas. Two of them open in Hillsborough tonight. Maryann in Gulfport. Hi, Maryann. You're on the air.
Mr. Lassiter, I noticed when that man was talking about President Reagan being governor in California, it wasn't mentioned that he was reelected as governor in California, and that's...
It wasn't mentioned that he was... It wasn't mentioned. I mean, why should it have been mentioned? I mean, what's the point, Maryann?
If you're speaking in a derogatory term, I think the good things should be mentioned.
I'm not speaking in a... Maryann, I'm not speaking in a derogatory term. I have raised a very legitimate question. The president is showing signs of senility.
That's why you shock me, I'll tell you. Because I don't see...
I shock you because I say the truth, Maryann?
No, you aren't.
Oh.
And I'll tell you something. For you to be making statements like that at a time when the president is meeting with Gorbachev on nuclear disarmament and Ortega on speaking about a peace plan...
Maryann, he's not meeting with Ortega.
I hope that if
Maryann, he's not meeting with Ortega. Maryann, he's not meeting with Ortega.
Well, I meant the representatives meeting with Ortega.
Oh, I see. You're just like Ronald Reagan. You say one thing, but I see you're just like the president. You say one thing, but mean another. How am I supposed to know what you mean, Maryann?
Well, now I'll tell you.
How am I supposed to know what he means?
If you'll give me a minute, Mr. Lassiter.
Oh, Maryann, you're such a good one. I may keep you for the rest of the show.
Somebody that's shocked by anybody, you've got one right here because I'm shocked by you. I really am shocked by you. Our president has brought down inflation.
How did he do that, Maryann? What did he do, Maryann? Maryann, what did he do to bring down inflation? Tell me one thing.
His administration and his way of doing things as he
Tell me one thing, Maryann, that he did to bring down inflation. Just one. I'll make a deal with you, Maryann. You tell me one thing that he did to bring down inflation legitimately, and I will get up and walk out of the studio and never, ever, ever trouble you again.
Listen, some of the stuff I've heard you say...
Maryann, there's a deal of a lifetime. Maryann, there's a deal of a lifetime. I'll quit on the spot if you tell me one thing that Ronald Reagan did to lower inflation. You can't tell me, Maryann, can't you?
And it wants to say anything good about President Reagan, you do this.
Maryann, I'm giving you an opportunity to say something good.
He has done good.
Maryann, I'm giving you an opportunity to say something good.
Depression of any term of any president. Why don't you ever mention that?
Maryann, I'm giving you an opportunity to say something good about the president. I want you to tell me the one thing
about the president.
Shut up, Maryann. I'm asking you to tell me one thing that Ronald Reagan did to lower inflation, and if you can, I will get up and quit on the spot and never trouble you or anyone else in the Tampa Bay area with my shocking comments.
Right off, I don't know the methods he used, but I do know they work.
Oh, I see you don't know what he did, but you know that he did it. Maryann, you're a moron.
And good. You know, why don't you ever...
I don't know what he did, Mr. Lassiter, but I know that he did it.
Let them finish.
Maryann, if you don't know what he did, how the hell do you know he did it?
I didn't say I knew exactly all of the methods that he has used.
That's exactly my point, Maryann. If you don't know what he did, how do you know he did it?
All right, then you tell me, Mr. Lassiter, how come we've had the longest peace in this country without a depression of any period in the history of our country?
The longest peace without a depression? What the hell does that mean?
We aren't in a depression.
No, we're headed for one.
I lived through a depression.
And you're going to live through a second one if you live another 2 years. You're going to live through a second one if you live another 2 years, Maryann.
I don't believe it. I don't...
Maryann, we already know that the facts mean nothing to you whatsoever.
If people keep on talking and listening and speaking like you, we are going to have a depression if people listen and believe
blame the depression on Bob Lassiter. That's right, it's my fault, Maryann, if we have a depression.
I said the negativeness. If you keep saying somebody is ill, they're going to get sick. And if you keep saying that a country is...
Do you believe in the tooth fairy too, Maryann?
What?
Do you believe in the tooth fairy as well? If you keep saying somebody is sick, they're going to get sick. Give me a break.
I don't believe this president is showing any signs of, like I heard you on WPLP say, in 6 months, this president will be a gibbering idiot. I heard you.
No, you heard no such thing, Maryann.
Alzheimer's disease.
I did not.
You didn't
I said no such thing, Maryann. It's no wonder that you don't see that this man is befuddled and bemuddled.
Oh, I thought that was you on WPLP. Maybe it was somebody else. I'd have sworn you said that.
Just like Ronald Reagan, you know. Hey, you don't know what the hell you hear. You don't know who said it. You don't know anything about it. But, boy, you know it's true.
Did you or didn't you say he was showing signs of Alzheimer's disease?
No, ma'am. I said he was showing signs of senility.
Oh, well, I thought you said Alzheimer's.
I know. There are many things that you think, Maryann.
Well, I'll tell you, this president has gone through an assassination attempt, 2 bouts with cancer. His wife has had cancer, and he has never once...
Wait a second, Maryann. Let me make the zoo out here for Hearts
and I
and Flowers.
think he's a darn good president, and if that Ortega or anybody else is taping this, I hope he hears somebody standing up for the president. And where are the rest of the people that voted for Reagan?
Is taping this? Maryann, did you say Ortega is taping this?
I said, if he is, I hope.
You think that Daniel Ortega tapes my show?
For our president.
You think that Daniel Ortega tapes my show?
I think anybody that would want to bash the president and listen to this kind of business that would be beneficial to their cause, sure, I think they're probably taping it. And I hope they
You think that
tape
Gorbachev
mine,
tapes the show,
because I think
too?
our president's doing a terrific job, and I think he's a good man.
Maryann, do you think that Mikhail Gorbachev also tapes the show?
I wouldn't doubt tapings of these kind of programs go to him. It'd be to his benefit. It would be to anyone that
So
is
you think that at the end of the day, Mikhail Gorbachev goes home and listens to tapes of the Bob Lassiter show?
You don't think that there's people that are against our government and against our president that would love to have a tape made like you're saying the president's losing his mind?
Well, what do you think it would benefit them?
You know, if Gorbachev sat back and said, "Well, good grief, here on his own in his own country, on his radio stations, they're even saying the president's losing his mind." And here I am sitting down negotiating with him. I don't think this president's losing his mind.
You think there's a strong possibility that Maryann,
his voice maybe isn't as strong as it was, but his mind.
Maryann, do you think there's a possibility that during the height of the negotiations that Mikhail Gorbachev is going to whip out a cassette player from underneath the desk and play portions of my program?
Back in his own country. I think it would be played back in his own country for his own countrymen to hear somebody saying, the president of our country, that he is negotiating with, saying the things that you are saying, that our president should be removed from office, that he's losing his mind. And you mean to tell me, how would that fit? I'll tell you, I think it's terrible, and I wish to God some people, surely with all the people that voted for President Reagan, why in Sam heck don't some of you call this man?
Because most of them are now ashamed of it, Maryann. Most of them are now ashamed of it.
Well, I'll tell you, I think he's a darn good president, and here's one.
I'll bet you do.
You'd shock me, and I hate to hear our country, our president bashed, Christians bashed. I think there's so darn many good topics. Well, play a violin now. Play a little violin, but I'll tell you this much. If they tape this, I hope they listen to me, too. Okay, get some more of your bashers on there, Mr. Lassiter. Get some more of the bashers on there, will you? But here's one that isn't. I think this country and our president are the best. Thank you very much.
Hey, Maryann, my pleasure. It's calls like you that have made this show what it is. 2:23 the time. I'm Bob Lassiter. I'm going to say hola to all of my listeners in Nicaragua. I would say hello to my listeners in Russia, too, but I don't know what the word for hello is in Russian. Lee in Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Lassiter.
Hi, Lee.
It's Dos Fradania.
Well, okay.
Anyway, hey, I had a heck of a time getting to you guys. I've been double-crossed by about 3 different phone networks. Okay, what I want to say is, don't you guys be so narrow-minded and parochial. You are getting out.
I'm what, Lee?
You're getting out.
I'm getting out? Getting out of what, Lee?
out of the state of Florida and across the Gulf, and you're in Yankee, Biloxi, Mississippi. I hear you 5, Sugar 5 during daylight. I don't know what your program day is.
You're really listening in Biloxi, Mississippi?
Would I lie to a guy like you?
Well, it's been, one or two others have tried.
Well,
Lee.
yes, I understand.
Especially a man named Lee.
Lee?
Yeah,
It's an old Chinese
Lee
name.
Fowler. No, I used to work for a man named Lee Fowler.
No, it's an old Chinese name. I heard somebody accuse you of having certain ethnic similarities today.
Oh, I've been accused of so many things.
Anyway, I thought I got a chuckle out of that. Okay, let me go through my list here before we get carried away here. Okay, now, don't buy property in Odessa. I don't know why I put a note down for that, but anyway.
Well, it's good advice.
Now, where were you when James Earl Carter Jr. was president when we needed you? Now, you can do that.
Where was I? Shamelessly, I'll tell you where I was, Lee. I was shamelessly bashing the man, and I bitterly regret it. I bitterly regret it. I made a mistake. Ray in Land O'Lakes. Hi, Ray. You're on the air at WFLA. Ray once. Ray twice. Ray never again. Still another member, the fastest growing club in the area. Another member of the Subhuman Pig Club that didn't hold on and broke my heart thinking that I really had a live one there. 90 WFLA. Bill in St. Pete. Hi, Bill. You're on the air at WFLA. Oh, there's another member of the Subhuman Pig Club. Ann in Tampa. Hi, Ann. Still another one. This is amazing. Just amazing. Just a brief bring you up to
Sex,
speed.
politics, and people.
Right. All the things that they say over there that you shouldn't talk about.
Well, let me see. I think we can handle this by talking about the sex life of the Virgin Mary and Pat Robertson.
That would pretty much cover it all, yes.
Yeah. But we won't do that because that'll probably get your license yanked and you lynched.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, but this is bizarre. Tell me, Bob, do you think that there was sunlight during the Dark Ages?
It's a damn good question, Kirk, and I can't answer it, but I'm sure that there are people in the audience who do remember.
The meaning of my statement. The Dark Ages weren't called the Dark Ages because the sun didn't shine or candles didn't work.
Chloe in St. Pete. Hi, Chloe. You're on the air.
Well, a rather crass special thing here in America.
Okay, I don't know what the hell that was all about, but Chloe, you waited 26 minutes for it. Great, baby. That's what America's all about, America's the only country in the world where you're free to make a stupid call. I think they're actually calling him now. Oh.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, Ken.
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Ken. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
How you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
That's good. I just wanted to call and let you know that you have one of the most obnoxious shows that I've ever listened to.
Well, great, Ken.
Thank you.
Okay.
And really, I can't pick anything worthwhile out of it besides you cutting down people all the time, maybe.
Uh-huh.
And, but that's your specialty, though, right?
Well, it's not necessarily my specialty, but it is one of the things I do terribly well, Ken.
And you're very good at it.
Yeah, well, apparently I am. You've been waiting 21 minutes to talk about it.
Well, I'm working. That's the only reason I had to wait, because I was working.
You have a job?
And I had nothing to do anyway. Yeah, I have a job.
Oh,
I work every now and then.
You have a job, but they don't ask you to do anything.
What's that?
I said you have a job, but they don't ask you to do anything?
They don't ask me to do anything? No, I sit here and run the register.
The job seems well-suited for you.
Very well for me. And you have a good one, too. You just sit on your rear all day and cut people down, mainly, and talk about the economy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious of...
No, I don't mainly talk about the economy, but I'm quite capable of doing so.
And where'd you go to school, Bob?
Where did I go to school? Many places, Ken.
You do have a formal education.
A formal education?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of informal, I suppose. I don't know.
It's kind of informal. I'm just curious, did you go to college?
Yeah, I didn't did I go to college? Yes, I did.
And where'd you go to college at?
I went to Old Dominion University and Virginia Commonwealth University.
That's pretty good. You did graduate?
No, I didn't.
You didn't graduate?
No.
Why's that, Bob?
Because I didn't feel like it.
And so this qualifies you to talk on the air about a variety of subjects.
No, you don't have to have a college education or any education to talk on the air.
You're not an expert on anything that you talk about mainly. You're just more like a commentator.
Yes, I'm an editorialist.
Editorialist.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, it's been nice talking to you. I'll see you later.
Okay. Hey, Ken, it's always good to talk to a cashier. We really love cashiers calling up the show and trying to put us down. Hey, Ken. It's the breaks, man, Hey, some of us luck out, some of us run a cash register at the store, And some of us are stupid enough to spend 21 minutes sitting on the phone, hoping against hope to insult a professional insulter. Oh, Ken, give me a break. Whoa, Ken. Wow, you can do better than that. I guess you couldn't, Ken. Alfie and Brandon. Hi, Alfie. You're on here. Another member of the Subhuman Pig Club, getting me all excited and everything. Carrie in Tampa. Hi, Carrie. You're on. Is there anything else that you had to say, Carrie? Is that about it? Okay. You know, there's nothing I love more than driving people so damned mad that they make total idiots of themselves and go to a great deal of time and trouble to do it. Because they can't even come close to trying to, set me straight. I love it. It's a hell of a compliment. Let's go to Bill in Tampa. Hi, Bill.
Hey, Bob. I think there's the sorriest excuse for a radio talk show I've ever heard in my life.
Really, Bill? Didn't you listen yesterday?
Oh, I didn't listen yesterday.
Well, it was far worse yesterday.
What did you talk about yesterday? It couldn't be any worse than today.
Nothing. 4 hours of nothing, Bill.
You talked about nothing.
That's right.
Boy, I bet you get paid a lot of money for just sitting there on your behind all day doing nothing.
You better believe it, Bill. You better believe it a lot.
I can't even believe
Bill?
Channel 44 would even want you on the news at that night,
What are you kidding, Bill? I'm the hottest thing going in Tampa.
What hottest thing going? All you do is cut down everybody. President Reagan...
People love it, man. People love it.
You have no right to cut him down like that.
Sure I do, Bill. I'm an American citizen.
Hey, but come on. Who'd you vote for?
Who'd I vote for?
Yeah.
Reluctantly, Mondale.
What a sorry excuse. I can't even believe Mondale. Look,
yeah.
Carter was a sorry excuse, too. I wish they'd get somebody in there that could do the job, you know?
Yeah, so do I, Bill. I really do wish they could get somebody in there that would do the job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a refreshing change, wouldn't it, Bill?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'll tell you one thing.
Well, now, wait a second, Bill. You seem to be getting a little confused here. You were agreeing with me and starting off by saying that Ronnie was a great guy.
You got me all messed up.
Well, Bill, he's got you all messed up, too. You seem to get easily messed up, Bill.
Right. Another thing about this...
Another thing? Have you said something?
What?
Had you said something already? You said another thing.
I said that President Reagan is a fine human being. I don't see any reason to cut this man down. Look at Carter, and look at this joke of Mondale that ran, and it was just a big joke. That's all it was.
Right. Pay attention to what he's been doing so far and what he's been saying.
He lowered the inflation rate.
Bill, here we go again. What did he do to lower inflation?
What did he do to lower inflation?
I believe that's the question, yes. What did he do to lower inflation?
Oh, jeez. Bob, I don't know right off the top of my head like this, but, the guy's got to do something. He's been in there, the inflation rate went down. What do you think, Carter did it?
Well, first of all, Bill, if you were in the least bit familiar with charts, you would have seen that inflation started down prior to Ronald Reagan taking office.
Oh, come on. It was ridiculous when Carter was there.
Bill, it started down prior to Ronald Reagan taking office. And the sad truth is, Bill, that Jimmy Carter was not responsible for the increase in the inflation, and Ronald Reagan was not responsible for the decrease in inflation.
No.
Somebody with a full deck.
After listening to all these hearings and the Senate hearings and everything else, I've been really ashamed of what we have people representing. They're character assassinators. They're hypocrites. They're judging somebody that... And
could you give me an example?
What?
Could you give me an example?
Well, a friend of mine, personally, Joe Biden, when after Rehnquist for problems with the colored people, not allowing him in his own, and to rent his home or to buy his home and real estate, and he was guilty of the same thing his father was. Up there, and this is.
Well, there's a big difference between. Wait a second. It's a hell of a big difference between being guilty of the same thing or your father being guilty of the same thing. But again, you seem to be another one of these marvelous Reagan apologists who's a little bit baffled and confused yourself. No wonder you don't see it in the president.
Get a favor, Bob, honestly. Now, my wife listens to you religiously, if I can use that word on the radio.
Probably would shock someone, but that's okay.
Oh, she loves it. And I don't know what kind of fantasy she gets, but she just absolutely goes into heat when she hears you.
Oh, my God. That's shocking.
Since you've gone to 6 days a week, I'll be frank with you, it's been exhausting for me.
Oh, Dave, I'm so sorry.
But last night, she saw you on the news.
Yeah?
And my sex life's back to normal. She crawled into bed, and I says, okay, honey, here we go again. She says, come on, the guy looks like Hoss Cartwright with a beard.
Hoss Cartwright with a beard? Hoss Cartwright with a beard?
Yeah. We have it taped. I haven't played it back yet. I haven't had the nerve.
Oh.
My neighbor says you look like Ethel Mertz. I think I'd rather look like Hoss Cartwright.
Ethel Mertz?
Yeah.
What are you people smoking down there in Sarasota?
Well, what my wife's
smoking... Wait a minute, Connie Mack is your congressman, isn't he?
Well, truth to tell, I'm calling from Temple Terrace, but...
confused too sometimes, huh?
Huh? Confused?
Well, Haig hasn't been commander of NATO, Harry, since the beginning of the decade. Yes, you did.
I say he was commander, but that's...
No, Harry, I said the commander of NATO, and you said you mean Haig?
Haig, yes.
Yes, well, he's not commander, Harry, anymore.
I know that.
Oh, well, now you do, because I told you, but apparently you didn't know that.
Hell, he was chief of staff one time. Since then,
he was chief of staff, Harry, he wasn't chief of staff, ever, for Ronald Reagan.
He wasn't?
No.
What was his position in the cabinet? Secretary of State?
Yes, Harry.
Mm-hmm. Well, something.
Yeah,
anyway,
something.
He doesn't run a two-bit radio talk show.
Nor do I, Harry. Harry, I run the highest-rated talk show in the top 20 market.
That, but I swear I don't see how your sponsors can support you for 4 hours.
Well, it's easy, Harry. People like you listen all the time. It's real easy, Harry. Got you again, Harry. You guys behave yourselves. We'll do it again tomorrow.